That lump at his feet is glass. Nobody made it. An hour ago it was sand, and then the sky hit it. He can hold it. He can cut himself on it. He will never make a piece of it in his life. Why not? Ancient humans were surrounded by glass. They picked it up, carried it, traded it, cut meat with it, wore it. And for hundreds of thousands of years, not one of them ever made any. Then somebody finally did it by accident, while trying to make something else entirely. Start with what just happened to that sand. Lightning runs at around 30,000 degrees. That is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. It arrives for a few thousandths of a second, and everything it touches on the way into the ground stops being sand. What it leaves behind is a tube, hollow, rough on the outside, smooth as a bottle on the inside, branching down through the dirt like a root. The shape of the tube is the shape of the bolt. It is a photograph of a lightning strike. It was taken in the one instant that strike existed. Then, it sits in the dirt for 10,000 years before anybody digs it up. Nature had been doing this since before there were eyes to see it. Lightning does it in a flash. Volcanoes do it by the field, in black sheets that cool too fast to become rock. And one other thing did it once, over a desert, on a scale that is still argued about. Hold on to that one. It ends up on the chest of a dead king. Crack a piece of volcanic rock in the right place and it breaks in curves. That is obsidian, and it is the sharpest material on this planet. The edge where 2 of those curves meet can come down to a few nanometers thick. A steel scalpel looks like a saw blade beside it. It goes through skin before your nerves have decided anything is happening. Ancient humans worked this out immediately. Obsidian tools show up in Africa long before our own species does. Chipped, resharpened, and carried 100 miles from the volcano that made them. People were walking for days to get the good stuff. So here's the situation. Humans had glass. They had the best glass anybody would ever have. It cut better than anything a pharaoh would own 300,000 years later, and it was lying on the ground, free, already finished. They just could not make more of it. And the reason is a single number. Sand goes liquid at about 1700 degrees. A campfire, on a good night, with dry wood and wind behind it, reaches 800. Not close. Half. You could stand at that fire for 1,000 years and the sand under your feet would not care. Something had to cheat. Everybody thinks they know how glass got invented, and the story is wrong. The Roman writer Pliny told it. Merchants pull their boat onto a beach and want to cook. There are no stones to prop the pot on, so they use blocks of natron out of the cargo. They light a fire underneath. In the morning, a bright, clear stream has run out from under the pot into the sand. Perfect story. Repeated for 2,000 years. Except we just did the arithmetic on that fire. Natron helps. Natron does not help that much. You can sit in front of it all night, and you will get dinner. Not a window. I like the story anyway, because of what it gets right by accident. It puts the 2 correct ingredients in the same place. Sand and natron. It just does it outdoors with a campfire, which is like trying to weld with a lighter. The real thing happened indoors. Somewhere with walls and a roof and a hole to force air through. Somewhere built to get hot on purpose. It happened in a kiln, and the people standing over that kiln were not making glass. They were making fake jewelry. Blue was the most expensive color in the ancient world. Real blue meant lapis lazuli. That stone came out of one mountain range thousands of miles away, and it cost exactly what you would expect. So they faked it. You grind quartz to powder, wet it into a paste, shape it into a bead, mix in ash and a little copper, then you fire it. As it heats, the salts crawl to the surface. What comes out of that kiln is a bead with a hard, shining blue skin. It is called faience, and it was the biggest industry nobody remembers. Beads, amulets, floor tiles, little blue hippos. Counterfeit lapis, mass-produced, worn by everyone who could not afford the real thing. And that skin was glass, not a window. A glassy crust a few grains thick, sitting on top of a fake gemstone. Every workshop making these beads was producing tiny amounts of real glass. Nobody was looking at it, everybody was looking at the color. There is a second suspect. When you smelt copper, everything that is not copper floats up and gets raked off as waste. Some of that waste came off the heap hard and glassy and clear in patches. So the first glass humans ever made was either the skin of a knockoff gem or a lump of factory rubbish. For centuries it went in the bin. Then somebody kept a piece. Whoever kept it had a problem. A crust on a bead is not a bowl. To get a real quantity, you have to melt the sand itself, and the kiln only reached 1,000 degrees. Sand needs 1,700. The fix was lying in a dried lake bed. When those lakes evaporate, they leave a white crust called natron. Sweep it up, throw it in with the sand, and the melting point falls off a cliff. 1,700 becomes about 1,000. That is a kiln. That is an ordinary pottery kiln that had already existed for thousands of years, sitting there the whole time waiting for the white powder. Now the second problem, and it is my favorite failure in the history of materials. Sand plus natron makes glass that dissolves in water. Picture the first man to own a glass cup. He is standing outside in the rain, drinking, watching his cup get smaller. Leave it out overnight, and in the morning there is a puddle where your beautiful new object used to be. The fix was lime. Crushed limestone or crushed seashells thrown in with the rest. Lime locks it together and makes it permanent. 7 parts sand, 1.5 parts natron, 1 part lime. That was worked out about 4,500 years ago. It is essentially the recipe in whatever window is nearest to you right now. We adjusted it. We never replaced it. For its first 1,000 years, glass was not a material. It was treasure. It sat in the same bracket as gold and turquoise and lapis, and kings sent it to each other as diplomatic gifts. Nobody could see through it and nobody wanted to. Early glass was opaque, deep blue, deep red. The whole point was to look like a gemstone, carved into a shape no gemstone could survive. One Bronze Age ship went down carrying 175 discs of raw blue glass. They were stacked in the hold like loaves of bread. That is not household cargo. That is a shipment of currency. I had these people down as amateurs who got lucky once. That was wrong of me. They did not melt it in one go. They half melted the sand and ash into a gritty crumb. Then they let it cool. Then they ground the crumb back down to powder. They picked the unmelted lumps out by hand. Then they melted it again, hotter, to get something clear and free of bubbles. Melt, crush, sort, melt again. That is 2-stage industrial chemistry, over 3,000 years ago. A mud brick room, and a man crouched over a pile of crumbs, picking out the bad bits with his fingers. They knew exactly what they were doing. They had no idea what they were holding, because the most valuable piece of glass in Egypt was not made by an Egyptian. Out west, past the last thing anybody farmed, there is a stretch of open sand scattered with pale yellow-green stones. They lie loose on the surface, you do not dig, you walk, and they are there, catching the sun, and they are glass. Almost pure silica, the purest natural glass on Earth. Something happened over that desert. To make that much of it, the ground had to reach 1,700 degrees. That is across an area you could not cross on foot in a week. Either a rock came in from space and hit, or one burst in the air above and the heat came down like a lid. It happened 29 million years ago. There were no humans. There was nothing that would one day become humans. Then somebody walked out into that sand and picked a piece up. They carried it home. They cut it, carved it into a beetle, polished it, and set it in gold. Then they laid it on the chest of a teenage king and buried him. That scarab is glass from the sky. It is older than our species by a factor of 100. It rested on the ribs of a boy called Tutankhamun. And nobody in that room knew. They thought it was a nice yellow stone. The carving is the part I cannot get straight. Somebody held that thing steady and worked it for hours. The man who found it, the man who carved it, the priest who placed it. Every one of them stared at the oldest object in the building and saw jewelry. By then, they could make their own glass. It was still absurdly expensive, and the reason is completely insane. Here is how you built a glass bottle for the first 1,500 years. You take a metal rod. On the end, you build a lump of clay mixed with animal dung. It is the exact shape of the inside of the bottle you want. That lump is the mold. You heat it, you dip it in molten glass or wind hot glass around it in trails. You roll it flat on a stone slab. Then you add the rim and the handles by hand. Then you wait for it to cool, and you scrape the dung out through the neck with a stick. For 15 centuries, that was the standard way to make a hollow glass vessel. Almost every bottle on Earth was built around a core of dried manure. Hours of skilled work, one at a time, for a bottle the size of your thumb. Then, on a coast about 2,000 years ago, somebody picked up a hollow iron pipe. They put a blob of molten glass on the end of it and blew. The blob went round. It went thin. It went properly transparent for the first time because you can blow a wall thinner than you can ever build one. Hours became minutes. One bottle became a shelf of them. Within 2 generations, a Roman writer noted you could buy a glass drinking cup for a single copper coin, which was less than lunch. Glass stopped being treasured the moment somebody breathed into it. And then they did the thing nobody had ever thought to do with it. They put it in a wall, small, thick, greenish panes, and suddenly you could sit indoors and still watch the weather. So the invention was an accident, and it was not even ours first. Lightning made glass. Volcanoes made it by the field. Something out of the sky filled a desert with it, and humans spent hundreds of thousands of years walking over the stuff, cutting with it, wearing it. Then a workshop full of people faking gemstones made a batch by mistake, and threw most of it away. But we never beat the volcano. A few surgeons still cut with obsidian blades. A rock that cooled too fast holds a finer edge than any steel we know how to grind. 5,000 years of furnaces and chemistry and factories, windows, lenses, bottles, screens, cables under the ocean, and the sharpest glass a human being has ever held is still the kind you find lying on the ground. Already finished, exactly the way he found it. Thanks for watching. All the sources and studies used in this video can be found in the description below.